Hey everyone, this is Rowan Shaw with some SAT math practice. Now, first let's talk about operations with fractions here. Now, unlike normal numbers, multiplying and dividing are actually easier than adding and subtracting. Multiplying fractions is super easy because you just multiply across the tops and the bottoms. So like if you have 5/3 times 4/5 or something like that, you don't actually even have to worry about the common denominators here. You just multiply the tops. 5 times 4 is 20. 3 times 5 is 15. You could reduce it if you want, but that's how you do it. Dividing fractions is also very simple. What if it was 5/3 divided by 4/5? Then all you got to do, keep, change, flip. Invert and multiply, you might have heard. So 5/3, and just change that to a multiplication. We can't just change that without doing anything else. We just flip the second number. The 4/5 turns into 5/4. So 5 times 5 is 25. 3 times 4 is 12. So really, long story short, to multiply fractions, multiply across. To divide fractions, turn it into a multiplication problem by changing that and flipping the second number, and then multiply. But to add or subtract, you got to make sure that the denominators are the same. So with this one, 5/3, what if it was 5/3 plus 4/5? Then what you got to do is you got to make sure the denominators are the same. So basically, one way to do that is you could multiply the top and bottom here by 5. Really, multiplying it by 5 over 5 is not changing its value. It's still 1. So that's going to be 25 over 15. And that, the top and bottom, you can multiply by 3. So multiply the top and bottoms by the other guy's bottom, right? And so that's now going to be 12 over 15. So now, whenever you're adding two fractions and you've gotten them to the point where you have the same denominators, now you keep that same denominators and you could do 25 plus 12, which is 37. So that'd be your answer. To subtract them, same thing. If it was subtraction, the only difference would be now it's 25 minus 12, still over 15. And finally, let's talk about the order of operations here. You might have heard of PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Basically what it's saying is, for any problem, if there are any parentheses, simplify that first. If there is an exponent, then do that right after. Then either multiply or divide, whichever one's first, and then either add or subtract, whichever one's first. So really, for this one, for example, there are no parentheses. There is an exponent here, so first, before we subtract or multiply, we're going to do the exponent, 2 cubed, which is 8. So this becomes 50 minus 5 times 8. Then there's no division or multiplication here, so you do 5 times 8 before you subtract, so that's 40. So it's 50 minus 40. Then you subtract, so 10. That'd be the answer there. Here, you do 4 plus 3, because that's parentheses first, so that's 7. So it's 2 times 7 divided by 14 minus 1. Now, you could multiply first, so that's going to be 14 divided by 14 minus 1. 14 divided by 14 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So that's 0. What about this one? You might think, oh yeah, there's a times 0 at the end, so shouldn't that just be 0? Anything times 0 is 0? Well, yeah, anything times 0 is 0, but again, order of operations. So first, let's do the parentheses. 7 plus 3, that's 10. Then we can do the exponent. 10 squared, that's 100. So far this problem's really 100 minus 5 plus 2 times 0. Here's the thing. We got to multiply first. So before we do this, we actually have to do the 2 times 0, which is 0. But then, now the problem is 100 minus 5 plus 0. So the actual answer is 95. If that helped, make sure you subscribe to our SAT math platform, where you can learn some math and learn to know.